Hello, beautiful beings. This is Coach Stacy, Christine here, and I am with an incredible woman. Her name is Miss Rose, and we are here to share the Heal Her Body workshop today. This workshop came about because of my teenager son. My
Hmm.
teenager son was telling me recently I became a single mom again. And so me cooking was something that I wasn't doing for a while because we had my partner was a chef at the time. And so when I came back to being a single mom and I started cooking, my son was complaining about every single thing I was making for him and I was getting frustrated. So one moment I was just like, you know what? I never was taught about this unprocessed food or this organic stuff. I can't believe that's the only thing that you're eating right now. It was just like a total breakdown of what in the world. I had no idea that we were eating unhealthy foods. I had no idea that the stuff in my household was unhealthy and me not being able to feed my child hurt me even more because he wasn't eating any of the food that wasn't healthy, which is a good thing. However, that's what this where how this workshop came about because I was like, Miss Rose, I know you have healed yourself, you have healed your ex-husband, and you have healed many people because of these things. So can you give me like a little bit of a Christmas gift list or something that is healthy for my son?
Hmm.
And it ended up happening to where we just said, you know what, this is the information that the people need, not just your son. So I'm here to learn, but I'm also here to facilitate the conversation on getting our body to heal. And we don't even realize that the stuff that's in the stores is killing us. And so I'm so happy to introduce Miss Rose. Welcome, Miss Rose, to Heal Her Body Workshop. This is your space to shine, honey, because she's the expert, y'all. All right, she's the expert.
I am so grateful to be able to do this. I feel like um, it is so needed. It is the conversations that I get. I've been speaking these things for so long. A lot of my friends and people who I've been on long calls with, like I was on a call for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years doing Wellbeing Wednesday, every Wednesday for years. And the people that are on that call, they still say to this day, every time I go in the grocery store, I hear your voice. Every time I pick up something that I shouldn't eat, I hear your voice. And so I am grateful that people hear my voice because when you are going into a place that is supposed to be good for you, but you find that a lot of this stuff is not. I heard somebody on social media say, if your store, your grocery store has a health food section, what is the rest of the store?
Mm. Ooh. That's
What
true.
is the rest of the store? If
Right
this is
there in
the
front of
food
us.
section that you consider healthy, what is the rest of the store? So let me just start with the grocery store. All grocery stores are not created equal. There are some that they have what is a semblance of food, but at this point, a lot of it is Franken food. It's not real.
Franken food. Not real.
It's not real. It's fake. They have learned how to clone the meats. So there was a lady who did a video and she took a magnet to Walmart and she put the magnet on chicken breast and turned it over and the magnet stayed on. And what she was saying was that a lot of the clone meat has metal particles in it. And so you can tell by putting a magnet on it. I haven't tried it, but this is what she said. I have a tendency to believe it. One of the things that we discussed was many, many years ago, everybody smoked. Everybody smoked. People smoked. I never smoked in my life, but I had come to the conclusion that for all of the people on my job who smoked, they were allowed to take so many breaks. I started taking smoking breaks with them. Like I'm going outside with you. Okay. Pause. Decline. My apologies. I do have my things on do not disturb, but certain people can get through my family.
I got you.
So yeah. But
So you started smoking because all of your
I
coworkers.
didn't start smoking. I just started going outside with them,
Okay,
take
okay.
as many breaks as them. But then something happened. People started to hear the commercials about black lung and people were getting sick and getting cancer. So they're like, oh, I gotta stop smoking. So a lot of people all at once stopped smoking. So now the tobacco companies are suffering. They're like, what in the world are we going to do? We need to figure out how we're going to get to our money. What do we need to do? So what they decided was we're going to morph and we're going to go into food. So when you look at a lot of the companies, Kraft, General Mills, and many others, they're now owned by tobacco companies. So what does that mean for you and I? That means that they now have to find a way for you to be addicted. Just the same way that people were addicted to cigarettes, we now have to find a way to get you addicted to food. And when I say food, I mean franken food, fake food. Um, Things like Oreos. Somebody just did a video of them trying to burn an Oreo cookie. They put the fire on it for 30 seconds, it didn't burn. They put it on for 1 minute, it didn't burn. They put it on for 5 minutes and it still didn't burn. That is not food. And I, for one, love me a double stuffed Oreo cookie, but I no longer eat them. They're not safe for consumption.
If it's not even burning, then it can't, it's not going to be able to break down in your body.
No, your body doesn't even know what it is.
Wow.
Your body cannot pull any nutrition from it. So it doesn't know what to do with it. And that's what sends the body into inflammation. Your stomach's upset. You got a headache. You don't know. And those are all the signs that the body has something in it that it needs to get out. And sometimes what will happen is it'll make you vomit or it'll give you diarrhea or pain in the stomach until it passes through. And that's with a lot of things. So most of your snack foods, I also have a love for hers hot cheese curls. Oh, I love me some hers hot cheese curls. But something happened every time I went to eat them. I would get the family size bag and I'd be sitting there and I'm just doing whatever and I'm eating and then I'm eating them and then I'm eating. And before I know it, I done ate the whole bag. Wait a minute. Why didn't I stop eating it? One is mindless eating, just sitting there watching TV or doing whatever and I'm eating it, or reading or whatever, and I'm just eating it and I'm not really paying attention. And so, what the tobacco companies have done in the food industry is they have added a chemical that turns off the receptor that says, I'm full. So you will continue to eat these chemicals until they're gone. There's no real nutritional value in these snacks. It's all chemical. It is all, they do these studies to determine how to make it taste so good. And then it tastes so good and you just keep eating it and it's not real. So we have to be so mindful of when we're shopping. So when you go to the grocery store, the first thing you're going to do is one, go to the grocery store with a list. You must have a list first. Secondly, do not go if you are hungry. If you go to the grocery store while you're hungry, everything, every picture that you see looks good and you're going to put it in your cart. Okay. The third thing I need you to have is the Yuka app, Yuka, the Yuka app. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to stay in the perimeter of the store. You're going to, by all means necessary, stay out of the aisles. You're going to shop produce. You're going to shop your meats. And when you shop for your meats, because we know, we're going to shop for bone-in meats. They haven't quite figured out how to manufacture bones yet. So that means that you may have to ground your own meat. It may mean that you got to do a little bit more work. And these are the things that our parents did. These are the things, I looked at some of the tools and things that my mom had in her kitchen, and a lot you will find a meat grinder in the kitchen.
I think I saw one at some point. Yep.
Yes,
When you really
yes.
think back, yep. And the pole, the
Yeah,
meat thing. Mhm.
the meat tenderizer.
Yep.
All of that is there, so we have to do that. The other thing, buying whole chicken, and looking for chicken with no antibiotics, cage free, all of that is going to be important. But do your best. Do your best. Sometimes we're not going to be able to get all of the top of the line things, especially if you live in a place that's considered a food desert. You're not going to find all of the things. Um, if you could go to a farmer's market or learn who your local farmers are and shop with them, then that is the ideal. But if you have to go to a grocery store, then this is what you're going to do. There's also a list that I will share that Bill Gates owns a company called Appeal. Appeal is a type of pesticide that's being used on produce that not only is on it, it's in it. So there are stores that are using these. So those stores, we do not buy produce from those stores. And the ones that I do know for a fact that use it is Target. So don't buy produce from Target. Kroger, don't buy produce from Kroger. Walmart said that they can't vouch for any other brand that is not their brand, but anything that is Walmart brand, they vouch to say that there is no appeal on it. I just don't play with it. I don't buy our produce from Walmart. Um, Here, Publix is one of the stores that we do buy our produce from because Publix has stated very much that they do not allow appeal products in their stores. Costco also is another, they do not allow appeal products. So right now, I only shop at the farmers market, Publix, or Costco.
You ever heard of Aldi?
Yes, all the had no comment. So I know that they have organic and things like that. And I love, 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 love Aldi, but I'm just not sure of what their stance is. So I haven't been shopping at Aldi for that reason.
So that Yuka app would be a good place. Good.
So Yuka, what that is going to do is when you peruse down the aisles, when you peruse down the frozen food aisle, when you are looking for your milks, your butters, your things that are packaged, that's what Yuka is for, your bread. You're going to take that, you're going to open the app, and you're going to scan everything. Everything. Bread has dough conditioner in it. Dough conditioner is human hair. that they use to bind the bread. So when you look for um, your bread, and if it says dough conditioner, put that back. Put that back.
Human hair? What does human hair do to the bread?
It's used as a binding agent.
Okay.
So there are breads that do not have it. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your Yuka app the same way that they scan your stuff to purchase. You're going to scan that same barcode, and what's going to happen is it's going to give you everything good or bad. It's going to give you points from 0 to 100. Anything that's, I don't know, less than 50%. I don't know. I don't think I take anything less than 80. I kind of keep it on the high side. So certain breads that I thought were like the best breads ever are not, are not. Some of my favorites, Martin's bread, no. And I want to say certain of Arnold's breads are not. All the Ezekiel breads are good. Dave's Killer bread is good. But for the most part, most bread is not good. And but what I love about the app is if it tells you that your bread is bad, it'll tell you why. It'll tell you what additives are in it. And then it right at the very bottom, it will give you a replacement, a better choice. And that's for your juices, anything that has a barcode, you can scan it. Produce and things like that don't. So anything that is has a barcode, you want to scan it. Some things come up unknown. If it comes up unknown, I definitely don't take it.
I don't get it. Woof. They can't even read what it is. Imagine. You can't even imagine what's in it. Um,
Exactly.
the whole going back and forth with my son kind of started with eggs. He was like, I don't eat grade A eggs. Do you know
Mm,
anything
so
about eggs?
so eggs can be scanned as well. A lot of times they talk about what the grade is. They talk about whether it's cage free or uh,
Pasteurizes the
pasteurized and
egg.
all of that. Just use the app to determine if it's a good egg or not.
Okay.
I'm not very well versed in the grading of eggs because I don't eat eggs at all.
Okay.
I, I like them. They don't like me.
Ah,
Oh, I stopped eating them a long time ago, so I haven't done any extensive research on that. Somebody said I should try again and see. I can eat them if they are cooked in something. I can eat them if they are hard boiled in something. So I think it's just something about them by themselves that my body has just changed. You know, I'll be 60 my next birthday, so who knows
yeah.
what the change is all about. But you can also use that scan code and scan them to determine whether or not they're really telling the truth. A lot of times when they say cage free, it's like yeah, they're not in a cage, but they in a big crowded room, you know. So you want to, I forget what, I'll look and see what it is because I know we looked it up for my daughter because my daughter only buys eggs from she only buys brown eggs from Costco. And so I just have to remember what that is, but I will make sure that we have it to share as a document about the eggs. But you want to stay out and away from packaged foods. You know how they have like seasoning packs. They have very high amounts of sodium in them, and a lot of them have like MSG and all of that, and all of them have been linked back to bad things into the body, bad diseases, carcinogens, things like that. We don't want any of that in our bodies. You want your food to be as close to natural as possible. We have to take it really back to what our moms and dads did. They literally used onions and garlic and ginger and everything and did all their seasonings themselves. Like, don't buy a seasoning packet. What is in taco seasoning? Is it paprika? Is it onion? Is it garlic? If it's all those things, just use those things. And what you will find is that the food tastes better. It tastes more fresh, you know, all of that. Like, and really use plant-based whole foods. Like, use a whole tomato, use an onion, use garlic. Go ahead and when you decide to have a snack that is a real snack. And there are things that you could snack on that are really good for you. I have a list right here. Let me go back to my list right here. And it talks about if you're craving something salty, and this healthy snack list is olives. Don't eat too many. Olives are really high in salt. Pickled vegetables like cucumbers, carrots, beets, lotus roots. I don't know what daikon is. Tabbouleh, hummus, oysters and sardines, kale and seaweed chips, steamed vegetables with tamari or um, vinegar, sauerkraut. It says sauerkraut will knock out your sweet craving right away. And it's so funny that it said that because I made a salad and I started adding sauerkraut to it, and I don't have as much cravings for sweets. If you are looking for something creamy, make yourself a smoothie. Get a good brand of yogurt, a plant-based one, maybe oat-based, coconut-based, something, but not so much dairy. Dairy has so many things going on with dairy. And so we want to stay away from it if we can. Avocado, rice or chia seed pudding, any type of soups. Puddings can be made with avocado, mashed bananas, pumpkin, sweet potatoes, coconut milk. All of these things are other options that you can use instead of just going to get whatever is packaged like Swiss Miss and all of those. Those are so full of Frankenstein foods. Franken foods for real, not real. If you want something crunchy, you can do apples or rice cakes, popcorn that you pop yourself. Get yourself an air popper and pop your own popcorn. Microwave, first of all, you shouldn't have a microwave in your house at all. That's first of all. But microwave popcorn is terrible for you. Terrible, terrible, terrible. So plain popcorn, you can use coconut or canola oil to pop your kernels in a pot with a lid on the stove. Make your own. One or two hard pretzels like the Bavarian kind. Um, you can do dip with hummus, guacamole, some vinaigrette, your favorite dressing, celery or carrots with peanut or almond butter. Make sure that they don't have any hydrogenated oils in them. They are really, those types of oils are really bad. You can do the hummus with some whole grain toast or rice crackers, or have yourself some good old nuts. I love some pistachios, some almonds, some walnuts, something like that. To do that. If you want something sweet, you can do a wheatgrass shot. You can do anything, any type of fresh whole fruit. And you can turn any of those fruits into a sorbet by putting them in your blender, adding some ice to it. If you want it to be a little more creamy, you could add some coconut milk, some cashew milk, or almond milk. But before you do anything with the milks, make sure that the milks are not any of those ones that are being pushed out right now. Oatly, silks, milks, all of those milks have xanthan gum and guar gums in them. Use the Yuka app so that you don't pick one of those. Right now, the two companies that I use for almond milk is Malk, M-A-L-K. Malk has water, salt, and almonds. That's it. Khalifa Farms has multiple ones. One of them says three ingredients only. So from the Khalifa Farms, you want to grab the one that says three ingredients only. They have multiple, they have all kinds of different ones, but we only want the one that has the three ingredients. So look for that one. Those are the only two that I buy right now. Otherwise, I make my own. 1 cup of almonds, 2 cups of water, put with a quarter teaspoon of sea salt and 1 teaspoon of maple syrup and you blend it in your blender, and then you use a strainer to strain out all of the stuff. You can use a cheesecloth or a really thin mesh strainer and pull it all the way through, and that's your milk. And you can do that with any nuts. You can do walnuts, you can do cashews, any of them, but you can do it yourself. And it's better when you do it yourself. It tastes better when you do it yourself. More fresh, um, and it has no preservatives in it. So it's so much better for you. And because the thing that's going to happen, the thing that is happening is that we are being pushed to be in control of our own food. We're being pushed to grow our own food, to go to growers who are growing their own food, to buy locally. Imagine half your neighbors are growing food, so you can colloca with them, collaborate with them, bring seeds, come help till the land, whatever it is. They're pushing us to that. Because the more and more these companies are digging in and changing the food, if we don't change, the food is going to make us sick because the food is not living. The food is dead. It's dead in every which way possible. So there's no way that you can sustain a living body with dead food. And as we are buying the food that is better for us, the price goes up. So because the price goes up, it makes it out of reach for a lot of people. But I often tell people the same way that you buy that Gucci and those YSL and Coach bags and all those bags, Chanel's and all that. Think of your body as that. See, it's one thing to dress the body, but it's another thing to keep the body living from the inside out. I give the example of people who drive premium cars. Got your Audis, your BMWs, your Mercedes, and they all take premium gas. And you will roll right up to the gas station with no problem and pay $4 or $5 for gas because that's how much it costs. You don't complain about it. You know that's the car you bought. So you put the premium gas in your car, period. Whatever it costs, you're going to do it. But then you'll take that same car and roll through the drive-through of McDonald's, Wendy's, and Chick-fil-A and buy trash food and put trash food in the body and say, oh, anything else costs too much. But that gas didn't. And you're the one paying for all of it. So why not treat your body as good as you treat your car? A recent study came out about the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and how it has over 55 chemicals in it. That's why it tastes so good. That's why the line's all long, because folks addicted. Food addiction is a real thing, and they are creating more things to be addicted to, and we are addicting our kids to it. It's in the chips, it's in the pretzels, it's in all of the things. And that's why you see a lot of these parents are now learning how to make their own gummies for their kids. They're learning how to make their own dry fruit. They're making their own chips, they're making their own stuff. And you think, why would they do that? Because some of the studies have found that a lot of these chemicals are causing autism, ADHD, hyperactivity disorder, and you don't want to do that to your baby. You love your baby, you love your child. And parents are not being told, even some of the formulas that they're buying, like women have, some of them are deciding not to breastfeed. And the ones that don't, they buy the formula. And some of the formulas have been found to have heavy metals in it. Heavy metals, including lead, that causes brain damage. Yeah.
It
It's
hurts
it's
the heart so much.
It does. And then people wonder, and even the controversy when it comes to vaccinations for your kids and what vaccinations happen. I've seen stories of people who had these vibrant children, and then right after the vaccinations, it changed and it can't be undone. So it is very important for you not to take things at carte blanche, giving doctors complete control over everything. You have to take control of not only your own healthcare, but the healthcare of your children too. Can't just say, oh, we added 5 new vaccinations and we want to give them to you. No. Some of the ones that we know, measles, mumps, chickenpox, the stuff that we know that been here for years and years and years, I'm probably okay with them. But all this new stuff, HPV and all this, I'm not cool with those. I'm definitely not cool with this COVID vaccine. I'm not cool with the flu vaccine. And I feel like the body does not have a deficiency of drugs. The body has a deficiency of vitamins and minerals that the body needs in order to maintain immunity, to keep the immunity up. It is important for us to drink our 8 glasses of water, to take a multivitamin and multimineral, and to eat mindfully and healthily. And as long as you do that, your body will continue to protect you from whatever shows up.
Can we talk about the waters?
Oh, yeah.
Is it a rabbit hole that I just opened up?
You did. Um, Most bottled water is bad. Top of the list, bad ones are Dasani, Aquafina, and anything that says purified. So you want to stay away from purified water. That is just tap water that has a bunch of chemicals in it. And there is something, let me see. Let me find out what the thing is. Hold on. Let me ask real quick. Um, if there is a water additive that you can tell, and you can also use yucca as well um, to not buy certain waters. Um, Right now, there's waters that come in glass bottles that are good. The green one, Mountain Green, I think it is. And then some of the alkaline waters are good. Walmart has a brand 88 that's good. There's a spring water that the dollar store carries, Crystal Geyser. That one is good. But all of these ones that's usually made by soda companies and all that, you don't want them. They have this additive in it. Um, I'm waiting for my daughter to tell me what it is because she's the one who brought it to my attention because I would drink a water and get a headache.
Hmm.
I'm getting a headache. And she said it's this additive in the water. And sometimes if you don't know that it's there and you get a headache, you won't even pay it no mind. You'll think that something outside of you is happening that's giving you a headache, but it's really the water that you just
Stuff that
drank.
you're putting inside your body.
Absolutely. So yeah, water is definitely a thing. I also recommend that people put a whole house water filtration system on their homes. If you live in an apartment or something like that, then you should either do a Brita on your filter in your kitchen and then put the filters on your showers individually. Your skin is your largest organ on your body. And a lot of times, the waters that are coming in, depending on how they are processed, they have a bunch of toxins in them as well. And so, it's going to be important for you to not allow that on your skin. Imagine the water has whatever in it and it goes on your skin. Now, when you eat something, it goes in your stomach, it goes to your liver, it goes to your kidneys, all of these filtration systems. But on your skin, there's no filter. So whatever goes on your skin is going straight into your bloodstream. That's why things like lotion, soap, all of those things are important to see what's in them too. There's another app called EWG. Yuka has some products, but EWG has even a list. I just noticed that EWG has a thing on on Amazon, and it's called EWG approved products. It's calcium chloride. So look for calcium chloride in your water. If the water has that, do not get that water. Okay. And so when it comes to your body and things that you're putting on your body, that is also important. A lot of things that we are using have hormone disruptors in it. Things that will offset your menstrual cycle, things that will give you a headache, things that cause cancer. And you're just slathering it on, washing your hands and rubbing it on your body. And a lot of times it smells good. And I hate to tell you this, but the biggest um, culprit is your Bath and Body Works and Victoria's Secret lotions and perfumes and the candles. Even the candles are not, um, the candle wax is not good. So as it's burning, it's putting it in the air, which is affecting what you're breathing and can cause problems too. I remember I had got this candle from Walmart and it smelled so good to me. And this is how I got the lesson on candles. I was in the room and my daughter said, "What is that? You burning? It's giving me a headache." And I'm like, so sensitive, right? And then I just closed the door. I closed the door and now it's just me and the candle. Doors closed, windows closed. It's winter. I got a headache. And I'm like, what is in the candles? So it has to be for candles, they need to be soy-based candles. They are the healthiest candles. I don't have any candles in my house right now because I haven't found any. Now, what I did do was I rekindled my own candles. I went on Amazon, bought some soy flakes, and put them in my candles. Got the wicks, the whole nine. I got wooden wicks and I got plain wicks. Got me some dried flowers and some essential oils and mixed it up and made my own candles because I know they safe. And of course, the other ones are made with paraffin wax. That's what it is. The paraffin wax is what's not safe. So if they're not soy, then it's a no-go for them. So I know we went into a whole rabbit hole.
No, it's okay. It's this is Heal Her Body workshop, so we need to know what is it that we're putting in our bodies, on our bodies, that is not good for us. So it's a-okay. I want to speak about soda. I already know my answer, but I still want to speak about soda. And also, is there any type of lotions that it is recommended, or should you just go to the E app to?
You can definitely go to the E app, but I stick to like shea butters, African shea butters, without fragrance in it. If I want some fragrance, I'll add my own essential oils. Even your perfumes, even the expensive ones aren't good. And I love a good bottle of perfume. So what I will say about the perfume is do not spray it on your skin, spray it on your clothes. Spray it on your clothes. You can't kill your clothes, but you can kill yourself. Putting
Mhm.
it on and it going into your bloodstream. So I stick to shea butters. I use shea butter. I use olive oil. I use coconut oil on my skin. Um, there's not any particular lotion that I could think of off the top of my head. I know my daughter has some that she uses, and she goes through them because uses the Yuka app first. She's the one who gave me the app in the first place. And she'll have them and she'll like them or not like them based on consistency and things like that. So it's kind of trial and error. Just use the apps to find it. Also be mindful of hair products. I took the Yuka app into the hair store and they sell that coconut oil grease and you think that's really good. It's like a two. It has paraffin, petroleum, all this other stuff. Remember the old school Blue Magic hair grease? That's on the do not use list. It was all these things that were like oils and coconut and all that. They were all chemical based. All of them were no good. And so the Yuka app does help in that area too, but definitely take the two, the EWG and the Yuka app, and you'll be able to determine what you can. It really is chemical warfare out here. It is warfare. And see, the goal is if we give you enough bad food and the bad food makes you sick, we can then send you to the doctor in the hospital and we can put you on medication. And then you can become a customer of our sick care health system because it's not wellness care, this is sick care. Even some of the things that they consider preventive, mammograms and things like that, have been shown to cause cancer. How can a mammogram cause cancer? Mammograms cause cancer. The very thing that is used to detect it. And don't take my word for nothing I'm saying. Please go do your own due diligence, do your own lookup, because you won't catch me in a mammogram machine. And if you've ever had one, you could see why.
I just had one this year. That is the most uncomfortablest thing in the entire world.
First of all, I'm not a well endowed girl. So the lady was, if this was my back, this is her pushing my back. I said, ma'am, it don't matter how long or how much you push my back. This little itty bitty titty is it's not it's not going no further. And then they told me it was inconclusive and sent me for an ultrasound. So ultrasound is probably the better choice, the safer choice. Um, for most of us. But please don't take my word for it. Do your own due diligence and understand that it is the job of the doctors to get you on medication, to do procedures and things on you when the answers to your health is already within yourself. You intuitively will know what to do if you just tap in. Tap in and begin to listen to your body. Your body tells you everything. When you start thinking about, oh, I have a UTI, that's something that most women get, urinary tract infections. And they tell you to drink cranberry juice and all of that. The problem is the cranberry juice is not cranberry juice. So it's not helping you. It's giving you sugar and chemicals and all of that. I just happen to have right here, this is Lakewood. Lakewood is one of the juices that only have juice. Organic beetroot, organic lemon juice, organic ginger, organic turmeric. That's it. It's nothing else in here. And this is the company where you get your cranberry juice from, or any other kind of juice. Lakewood, and it's another one called R.W. Knudsen that you can get as well. So it doesn't have sugar added, it doesn't have any of that. So we just have to be so clear and mindful of what we go get. And you shouldn't be going to the grocery store and shopping for a month. You should be going to the grocery store a week to a week and a half, because that's the only way you're going to get fresh produce every time you go, because your produce is not going to last for a month. Well, there is some that do, but that means you don't want it.
It shouldn't last a month.
Man, listen, I had gotten these apples from somewhere. I don't know where I got them from. And I had bought them when I was in Philly visiting family. And when I came back months later, those apples were still appling.
What?
I think I got them from Save a Lot.
Hmm.
Those apples were still green, like regular. I'm like, what kind of preservative is on this apple? I cut it open to see if it still was like the right color, and it was.
Hmm.
I'm like, yo, they doing the most.
You know, one thing that I noticed growing up, when we were kids, there used to be trees of peaches and apples and flowers and stuff like that on the trees. Now,
They moved
yeah, there's no more.
no
Um,
more fruit trees. They don't want you living off the grid.
yeah.
They want you to have to go get it. We when I grew up, we had a cherry tree in our backyard and we had a peach tree in our backyard. And my mother grew tomatoes and collards and peas and all that. And we saw what a cherry blossom looked like, and it turned into a cherry and it being green and then turned into we can eat it. Same thing with peaches. We saw them grow, but they were on our property, so they couldn't do anything about that. But all throughout most of the United States, unless you're in Hawaii, did they take the orange trees away in
I
Florida?
haven't seen no orange tree.
Oh, it's when I remember when we were on the road and we picked oranges on the road, I was 12. So it's been so they have removed all of the female trees. All of the female trees are the fruit bearing trees. They removed. I remember you could pull a coconut,
Yeah.
but they've removed them all.
And
And
that also, from what I've heard through the grapevine, because there's only male trees, they're producing a lot of pollen, and the pollen is going out everywhere. And especially here in Florida, there's a lot of construction happening, and so they're planting a lot of male trees. And so people that have never had allergies before are sneezing like crazy because of all of the male trees that are out pushing out the pollen and stuff like
for the
that.
female trees.
Or the female trees.
No, the male trees are pushing out the pollen to pollinate the female
But
trees.
since there's
They
no
don't exist.
Yeah, since there's no female trees, it's we're sucking up the pollen, and that's what's causing the more allergies than normal kind of thing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Um,
It's all is set up.
it's all the setup. And you know what? Since I really started my coaching business, the one thing that I mainly said, I just remember saying it over and over again on my podcast was, this world is not set up for us to win. This world is not set up for us to win. There's so many things that they want to program us to just, it's almost at the end of the day, die. You know,
Yes,
it's either die in our mind or die in our body.
yes.
And so
People, what they say, they're born and they die at 25, but aren't buried till they're 65.
God damn. Why at 25?
I don't know. That's what the some quote from some guru said it.
It's just the programming that we are
Program.
exposed to. It's insane in the membrane. And then as you what you said about the grocery stores, like we can't live if we don't have food. And so they're putting it directly in our source of life,
Yep.
which it just continuously hurts my heart, but that's the reason why we're putting this information out there. This is really like the season of awakening.
Yes.
People are awakening to what they are doing to us, and so things are changing. And so it's up to us, like you said, to do our research and to do what we need to do to make sure that our bodies are healthy. Can
Yes.
we go into a little bit of, since we got the food now bringing it into the home, how
Yes.
to cook it?
Yes. So it is important that when you spend all this extra money for this good quality food, that you don't cook the life out of it. So that means that when it comes to your green vegetables, the best way to have them is raw. But some of them are really tough, like kale and collards, to have raw. So you need to at least cook them down al dente. Now, when it comes to collards, our the way our ancestors made them, they cook them till they wilted. They cook them till they flat, till they don't have nothing left. Your grandma say, "Don't throw away that pot liquor." The pot liquor is where all of the vitamins and minerals are that's been cooked out of the leaf. So drink the juice. Add the juice and use the juice to make something else. Make soup with it. I don't know. But even though our collard greens taste good, that's all they are. They have no nutritional value because all the nutritional value has been cooked out. So it's okay to have it like that on the holidays. But if it's something that you're preparing for yourself, for your family, learn to cook it a little bit more crunchier. What happens to the food is we want to eat it, we want to cook it until it turns bright green. And when it turns bright green, you want to stop cooking it. And sometimes that means you have to take it out of whatever means you're cooking it in. My good friend, Chef Rashawn, I was trying to, make broccoli and make asparagus. You know, those are the main two things people always show you they plate, and they brown and lean to the side looking like don't eat me, don't eat me. Trust me, I'm not, because you already dead. You not doing nothing. So he said with asparagus it'll keep cooking. So his suggestion was to take your asparagus, cut off the woody part at the end, take about this much water, put it in a pot, and when it starts to boil, let it boil until they turn bright green. And then once they turn bright green, take them out, take the pot to the sink and add cold water to stop them from cooking. Just the cold water, and then put them back in the pot, and then add your garlic butter, whatever flavoring that you're making, your Parmesan, whatever, do it then, and then it will keep the color as well as the flavor. Same thing with the broccoli. You don't have to cold wash them. You just have to stop cooking them. Once they turn bright green, just stop cooking them. Just stop, and then add whatever seasoning that you're going to add to it. So it is really just that, knowing when to stop cooking, knowing when is the right amount of time to cook those good green vegetables, to keep them green and healthy with all of the vitamins and enzymes and nutrients in them. Um, Same thing, even with, your meats, you have these good quality meats, you don't want to overcook them either. So just find yourself a good recipe that gives you good timing for everything. We like things well done, but not burnt, and not everything taken out of it. There is still some nutritional value to the proteins that we eat. So we want to be able to get all of that as well. So you want to find the ideal recipes for timing when it comes to preparing your food that you spend so much money on. There was a time you could take $100 and come out the store with multiple bags. You take $100, you might got two bags, maybe, maybe two bags. And so you want to be just mindful of those things. So um,
We got to talk about the pots and pans.
we got to talk about the pots and pans. Um, this was so funny how I learned all this. All of these things mostly came from taking care of my ex-husband and turning our house into a healing house versus a sick care house. And the first thing we had to get rid of was the microwave, because the microwave sends waves out and cooks the cook. It destroys your good food that you spent your hard-earned money for. It changes the composition of the food so that the food is no longer healthy, even if you bought it healthy. Okay, that's first of all. Secondly, when you are preparing your food, you want to make sure that you're using, if you're cutting up things, you want to use a wooden cutting board. You do not want to use a plastic cutting board, because as you are cutting into the plastic, you are also putting plastic in your food. And that can cause problems down the line, especially as the plastics begin to build up in the body. And so now that you're ready to prepare the food, you want to make sure that you are using not using non-stick pots. That Teflon, it starts to crack up and all that, and guess where it ends up? In your food. So you want to use ceramic, glass, or stainless steel. And stain or cast iron. And all of them, as long as your temperature stays right, they stay non-stick too. They really do. And if something gets burnt on, you just give the pot a chance to cool off, put some water in it, let the water sit, and you'll be able to clear those off. If you are using, now they do have some newfangled non-stick pots that say that it does not have the PFOAs and that it doesn't have the BPAs in it. BPA is more in plastic too. So I don't have any plastic cups or plastic spoons, plastic, whatever. If I have anything, it's silicone and wooden utensils that I prepare my food with. I don't use anything plastic for obvious reasons. And then they are saying now that there are some plastics that are BPA free, and you could tell the ones that are BPA free because the texture of them is different. And there are pots that now say that they're nonstick and they have no PFOAs. So look for no PFOAs. That is a chemical that is a part of the pot that we do not want in our food. I just skip all this nonstick stuff altogether because I don't want any of those coatings peeling off and adding on to whatever. And when you do your research about nonstick pots, you'll see the kind of harm can be caused to the human body, especially children, when it comes to those types of things. Their bodies are smaller. They can easily be taken over by things. So I want to make sure that we are not using them for sure. Yeah.
All right. I got my answer for my pots. I can't wait to buy my next set. I've been eyeing these glasswares and I'm like, I don't know if I should, but that was my answer right there. Thank you. Thank you. Oh,
Welcome.
so we got the food that we need to be eating. We got the pots that we need to be cooking in and the stuff that we need to use to prepare it. Now, our household is something that can also be toxic for ourselves too because of the products that we're using and inhaling. You've already mentioned about candles, being
Yeah.
careful with those, but something that has been on my heart is the household items as far as cleaning supplies. Let's talk
Cleaning
about that.
supplies. Oh my God, they have so much crap in them. Like, so you have to be so mindful. There are some that are healthy. I want to say Myers is a good one. There's something else that um we buy from Target. Something essentials. It's a clear, it's a number 9 on it. I think that's the one, 9 essentials or something. And that's all clear. And it does have some healthy fragrance in it, like eucalyptus and stuff like that. So you don't want to, you want to stay away from the Tides and all of those ones. They have so much crap in them. And the EWG app will help you with them. Um, Even the toilet tissue that we use is called Reels, I think. It's called Reels. It's a bamboo based because the toilet paper has wood and chemicals in it. So the cheaper the toilet paper, the more likely you got some wood particles.
Vagina not even safe. God damn it. God diggity dog.
It's
Took me
not,
out with that one.
it's not safe. It's not safe. So we use bamboo toilet paper here. Also, you've got the laundry detergent, and then you just have to read these ingredients. Use your common sense when it comes to. Well, I can't say common sense because common sense is not common to everybody. I didn't know that. Some people don't have it. So if you can't pronounce it, you don't want it on your body or on your clothing. A lot of people find that they have asthma and eczema and all of that, and it's all because of what you are washing your clothes in, what you are washing your children's clothes in. As soon as you put it on, something's in it. And so you want to look for things that are clear, that don't have the dyes, that don't have the extra chemicals in it. And granted, I love the smell of Tide. I love the way Tide make my clothes smell, but it's so bad for you.
What about Gain? Is Gain a bad one too?
I don't remember, but we don't use it.
Okay.
We stick to the clear, that nine essentials or whatever. And don't think because you go to Whole Foods that Whole Foods is the store, because Whole Foods uses a peel. Whole Food uses a peel, and then all of the other things you can buy in there. You can get some of the good paper towels, good bathroom tissue, and all of that. You just have to be mindful in every store you go into that they are all a part of the system. I just saw somebody on one of those social media platforms going through Whole Foods and picking up the things that they prepare, Whole Foods, you expect it to be safe. And everything she picked up had contains genetically modified ingredients.
Hmm.
Everything, the cookies,
Everything.
the bread, they have their own pre-made like tuna and all that kind of stuff. And so you think you're paying these higher prices, you think that it's better, but it's all genetically modified stuff in there too. GMO. GMO is fake food, it's not real, it's Franken food. And when you see anything that says GMO or genetically modified, don't bring it to your home. We have to be, food costs are going to go up. They're going to go up. So there is a gentleman, and I will get his name. He has taught people how to grow their own food in their house using rocks, just straight garden rocks, no dirt. And it's so funny how he found this out. His uncle had these rocks, and all of a sudden the rocks was growing watermelons. And he's like, how is this growing watermelons? And he's like some kind of scientist or something in the growing space. And he said, nephew, you need to come down here and see how this is happening. And he just figured that under the rocks it was dirt, but there was no dirt. There was no dirt. So he took probably 20 years to study this. And I now have his book. Is it right there? No, it's not right there. I have to get it and get his name. I got a chance to meet him over the summer, and I talked to him about aquaponics because I have a aquaponic tower garden. And he said the thing about them is they run on electricity and water, and so you have to have them plugged in. And to grow, when you do the math, it's going to cost you $20 to grow a head of lettuce when it only costs $4 in the store, so it doesn't make sense. He says, so consider doing it on the rocks. And he shows you how to take a 6 foot folding table, put rocks on it, and just grow stuff indoors. Indoors. So
Very nice.
yeah, we're gonna be pushed to doing that. I just feel it in everything that's in me, that with the cost of food is, if you did nothing but grow your own lettuce, your own herbs, you would save so much money just doing that. And if you got real jiggy with it and grew kale or collards or tomatoes or peas or whatever, that's something that you can live on
Yes.
if you couldn't get out to do anything else. So we're definitely going to be pushed to getting to know our farmers and the being able to talk to them about how they grow and all of that, and creating a relationship with them so that that the food that comes from there is safe.
You were
And
the
there's definitely an attack on the farmers that are doing it the right way by companies like Monsanto, because they just want to take over everything and cause this depopulation of the world by doing all the things that they're doing. And that's just a whole nother rabbit hole.
a whole nother rabbit hole. I
Yes.
feel like I heard that Bill Gates was buying up a lot of land
It
too.
has, he
Yeah,
has.
he
He
has.
has bought up a lot of the farmland to control the food supply. I had read an article about his wife and how she had at one point been threatening divorce because she said it was getting very dark, like everything that he was talking about doing. I don't know who told on her, but I could see that. I could see that. Like, babe, why do you want to do this? Like, why do you want to control the food? Why
Right.
are you in food now when you were in computer?
Technology,
Yeah.
computers, programming.
And not only that, now he is the number one controller of vaccinations. So he is pushing vaccinations all around. And one of the things, two things I heard, actually three. I heard that they're already cloning the meat, that they were looking for ways to clone butter using some air. carbon dioxide and something else. This is something that he's doing. Then it was putting vaccinations in tomatoes and putting vaccinations in the meat. So when you eat either of them, you will automatically become vaccinated because you ate it.
What did tomatoes do to anybody? That's messed up, man. That's messed up.
I'm telling you. And that's why it's important for us to
The
have
Walking Dead. That's what this
have
is right now.
seeds, have our own seeds, because a lot of the seeds, most things don't have seeds. So
Yes.
to me, if it don't have no seeds, where it come from?
How is it grown if it has no seeds?
I don't want it.
Even your own words is planting seeds. If your food doesn't even have seeds in it, like what are you eating? What are you eating?
It is not real food.
So we didn't answer my question about soda. What is
Oh,
tell me about
soda, forget about it. You don't need it.
ginger ale?
You can make your own.
I knew he was gonna say that.
We
How you
can
make
get
ginger
we
ale?
can get
Tell me.
we'll get you a recipe to make your own ginger ale.
Okay. So
Um,
what about carbonated water? Is that
yeah,
okay?
there's like sparkling waters that are safe.
Okay.
You can add whatever you want to add to it, make your
Okay.
own. The problem is how many other ingredients that they are adding to soda. Soda is responsible for obesity, it's responsible for diabetes because there's so much sugar. And then all of these additives, things like Splenda, Equal, Sweet and Low, you should never eat them. They will damage your liver. And especially if you're somebody who is taking statin drugs, you should not be eating them. When I went to the grocery store and saw that they were selling Splenda by the 2 pound and 5 pounds so that people can start baking with it, that's a heck no and a no thank you. Um, Equal came about because they were making a pesticide, and the powder that came from the pesticide happened to get on the man's hand, and he tasted it and said, "Oh, this is sweet." And next thing you know, we got Equal. And so the purpose in even artificial sweeteners is so that people who have things like diabetes won't eat sugar. So the only thing that really is safe is stevia, and I believe monk fruit. Stevia, not stevia in the raw, not any of those that are in packets, because those packets have something called maltodextrin that makes it packageable. We don't want maltodextrin. It's not good for the liver. Most of these things that we eat have to be processed by the liver and it can damage the liver. So we don't want that. You want the actual stevia that is either in liquid or powder form, that all it says is stevia by itself. There are some stores that carry it, some health food stores that carry it. Even you can see some of those ingredients on some of the Amazon products. So you want to look at the ingredients to make sure that it's stevia only. Stevia is not sugar, it is a plant. And so you can actually grow the stevia tree, like with your herbs, it can grow as a herb, and you can break it up and put it in your tea or coffee or whatever. The powder has like a little wang to it to me, but it takes some getting used to. When it means your life, you'll get used
You
to
get
it.
used to it. Absolutely. My very last question for my own personal knowledge is what is your take on medical marijuana?
Well, I believe that marijuana was created by God. And I believe that some of the strains of it that people are consuming, they add things to it. I think in the raw is not bad. I think when people start doing things to it and making all these genetically modified types, oh, we got cookie butter and cake and all that, I think that's a problem. Because I don't know how they make it like that. Like I'm not well versed, but anything that you are taking away from its natural form, then I don't think so. I have friends who are Rastafarians who grow themselves out of the country where it's legal, they can grow in Jamaica and whatnot, and they live by it. It's their medicine. And even when I was there, um, they were like, "Oh, you need to calm down," but I don't smoke, so they made it for me in tea, and it was relaxing, it was calming. It truly is not what they sell on the street for sure. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. We covered so much. It was so detailed. I learned ridiculously so much. Is there anything that you feel like it's really common that you haven't really spoken about as far as what we are doing for our bodies that it hasn't what give some stuff that like you want us to do more of to take care of our bodies and to heal our bodies?
I want people to create their own apothecary in their house. I don't want you to go to the store and buy a set of Metafin, which is Tylenol. I want you to go and buy some white willow bark. I don't want you to be taking Triminic and cough syrup. I want you to mix some honey, ginger, lemon, and turmeric with a little bit of black pepper, and I want that to be your cough medicine. I want you to cut up ginger and drink ginger, honey, and lemon when you get sick. I want you to use all of God's um, recipes for ourselves. I want you to intuitively tap back in. One of the things that I now know is that a lot of the food includes something called glyph glyphosate. Glyphosate. Glyphosate messes with the magnetism in our bodies. And when all of our body is working correctly, we will intuitively know what to do. But when we have this glyphosate from the food in our bodies, it interrupts how our body speaks. So I think that detoxification twice a year is important. Colon cleanses, colonics, however you choose to do it. Give your body a reset. Maybe do a 3-day juice cleanse here and there twice a year to really reset the body so that you can start over fresh. I can't even imagine the people who have never done it and how long some of the waste matter has been sitting in your body for so long. So, absolutely giving your body that reset and allowing yourself to intuitively tap in and know that, okay, I think I'm craving salt. I need salt. They even tell people who have blood pressure, don't eat salt. But the minute you go in the hospital, what do? They give you a saline bag with salt. And what happens? The blood pressure goes down. So we need salt. Nobody dies of too much cholesterol. That's a lie too. It's a whole book called Cholesterol, the cholesterol lie. Um, so I just want people to really do their own due diligence, lean into the experts like Dr. Leonard Carwell. I've just finished his book, The Only Answer to Cancer. He gives 300 cancer cures that they will never tell you about because they're natural. So if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. They can't patent it. They can't charge you $10,000 every time you sit in a chair for it. So I want people to do their own due diligence, be brave enough to lean in and say, I'm not doing that because that's not good for me, whatever it might be. And then having that apothecary, growing your own food, or at least connecting with farmers in your neighborhood so that you can do that. They say, oh, we're going to do the farmers market. We have an indoor one and we're going to do it every other Saturday or whatever. Make sure that that's part of your schedule for yourself and for your family to go to the farmers market and shop local, eat in season, I remember one time wanting corn and it wasn't none. And I'm like, why is no corn? And the farmer said, because they're not in season. If you're having them, they're shipped very far away and they are not completely done. So they take them out early and then they ship them and then they do stuff to it to then make it ripen when it gets to you. So eat in season. Um, Keep asking questions. Keep doing your own due diligence when it comes to stuff. Don't take your doctor's word for what's the word? Don't take it as the only way and the only answer. Do your own due diligence. If something doesn't sound right, doesn't feel right, believe your intuitive nudge that's telling you that that's not for you and go do some other research. And don't let the words that they say impact your ear gate. And when they say, oh, I know somebody who did that, but they died. Oh, I know somebody who did that, but that didn't work. They are not, they're not the boss of us. We just made them the boss of us, but they really are not the boss of us. We are the boss of us, and we just have to trust that God has given us everything. Let thy food be thy medicine, thy food. Period.
Period. We
Yeah.
can end it here. We can cut it right here. This was incredible for everybody who is catching this. There is resources that are going to be down below that you'll be able to download to get even more information on everything that Miss Rose has shared. I know for a fact that this has helped somebody because it has helped me already. So thank you, Miss Rose. I appreciate you so much for sharing this wealth of knowledge. And I'm excited for more things to come so we can get this information out even more. So I
Yeah.
appreciate you for being here. Thank
Yes.
you.
You're so welcome.
I'm just gonna stop it.